Hello Oilers fans, Austin here, and welcome back to another video. It's a little bit late getting it up today on September 6th. However, there was some things that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to get a video up before the end of the day, and here we are. We're going to discuss Connor McDavid. He kind of opened up about his off-season training, and he kind of changed things up after the slow start that the team had last year, so it was really interesting to hear that. Of course, there are also players in Edmonton who are currently in the city doing informal skates, and I love seeing that because that just shows how close we are to getting training camp open, preseason, and of course then the regular season. Very, very exciting. So let's kind of jump into it. And if you end up enjoying today's news update, just make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not yet subscribed, make sure to subscribe if you are excited for more Oilers content throughout the regular season. I cannot wait to continue to provide more content for everyone. So let's jump into it. September 6th, 2024 updates. Elliotte Friedman said on the 32 podcast episode, 32 Thoughts podcast, says that players are willing to take Edmonton off of their no trade lists right now. And that is a far cry compared to what Oilers fans are used to hearing. Most Oilers fans growing up, especially me in the 90s and 2000s, and even the mid 2010s, late 2010s, it isn't really until in recent years that Edmonton is seen as a desirable place for free agents to sign, for players to be traded to, for players to want to come to and play and try and win a Stanley Cup. Normally, we're used to players either leaving to chase money, leaving to go somewhere else. So this is a really positive sign from Elliotte Friedman, saying that there are players around the league right now who are specifically asking their agents to take Edmonton off their no trade list and then maybe hoping that they get traded to Edmonton one day. So that is awesome to hear. I love seeing that. And that bodes really well for the future of the team, especially when the salary cap crunch is going to hit in the next year or two when Bouchard, Draisaitl, and McDavid are all kicked in with their new deals. So we're going to have to be able to find players who are, one, willing to come to Edmonton, and two, maybe taking some discounts to round out the team and help the team win, because in the short term, the salary cap doesn't look great for the Oilers. However, I won't be worried about it until we get there. So that's a good sign. I love that Elliotte Friedman said that on the 32 Thoughts today. It makes me really happy as a fan, and it makes me excited about the future and possible future deals that Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman want to make to improve the team. Next up, he also mentioned, that's Elliotte Friedman, mentioned that Kevin Shattenkirk is interested in signing with the Oilers. Of course, there's nothing confirmed right now. This is just speculation. It's just Elliotte Friedman with insider knowledge. Of course, he mentions players are willing to take Edmonton off no trade lists. That means that there are players that likely want to sign with the Oilers. Kevin Shattenkirk likely wants to sign with the Oilers, which is funny because Kevin Shattenkirk actually vetoed a trade to Edmonton a while back. I can't remember when it was. I remember seeing it in the news. There was a deal in place that would have sent Shattenkirk to the Oilers, but he vetoed it at the time. I'll have to find the article. I'm pretty sure Oilers Nation has an article on it. I wish I had it up for you. Maybe if I find it, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But Kevin Shattenkirk, he wants to sign with Edmonton. And Shattenkirk's name has been floated around Edmonton for a little while here now, even since back in July as a potential pro tryout option for Edmonton. Shattenkirk recently spent time with the Boston Bruins last year. He played, I think, 61 games in the regular season, and then he played 6 games in the postseason. Now, personally, I did not like Kevin Shattenkirk with the Boston Bruins. Of course, many of you know my second favorite team are the Bruins, so I watch a lot of their hockey on top of the Oilers, and I did not like Kevin Shattenkirk. Now, in the regular season, he put up pretty decent metrics, advanced metrics compared to the rest of the defensive group. However, as the season progressed, I think his age was starting to show. He really started to slow down, and he only played 6 of Boston's playoff games, and he did not look very good in those 6 games. I found the Bruins were much better when he was off the ice compared to on. Now, if he comes in on a pro tryout and he shows that there's some gas left in the tank, I'm not against him coming in as a potential third pair, just kind of shore up the defensive group if you need to. He won a Stanley Cup with the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2019-2020. So this is something that I'm not totally against, but I see people floating around the idea that maybe he plays top 4, maybe you stick him next to Darnell Nurse. I don't know if that's where I would want to play Kevin Shattenkirk, just based on his style of play and the fact that he's a bit older. He has slowed down, and I didn't really like his play with the Bruins. Now, the analytics community in general seems to be a big fan of Kevin Shattenkirk. They like a lot of his micro stats, so maybe I'll have to dig a little bit deeper, but just based on what I remember from last season, I remember not being happy with Kevin Shattenkirk with the Bruins. So we'll see what plays out here. Of course, if news breaks that he's signing with Edmonton, I will have a video up and we will break it down. But for now, we'll just leave it at that. And as I mentioned in the intro, Oilers players are arriving in Edmonton for informal skates. And we're going to quickly take a look at who's all there. There's a whole bunch of them. We got Leon Draisaitl. We got Zach Hyman. We've got Victor Arvidsson. We got Matthew Savoie. We got Matthias Ekholm, and it's so good to see all the guys on the ice right now. We got Darnell Nurse. Look at that. Beauty. Love seeing everyone on the ice right now. That shows just how close we are to getting things going. There's Josh Brown. Holy smokes, what a monster. Leon Draisaitl, too. You absolutely love to see it. Oilers players are arriving in Edmonton for the informal skates now. Connor McDavid is not with the Oilers informal group. He is still training, I believe, in the United States. I saw he recently did an interview with Mark Spector with Sportsnet. I believe he's currently in Colorado or something. I don't know. Not that it matters to me as a fan. Connor McDavid, he could show up 5 minutes before puck drop of game 1 of the regular season, and that would be good enough for me because we all know how good Connor McDavid is and how much he means to the team and what he produces. So some of the players that were listed as arriving for informal skates: Draisaitl, Perry, Savoie, Hamblin, Ekholm, Zach Hyman, Josh Brown, Darnell Nurse, Troy Stetcher, and more. It is very exciting times in oil country. I cannot wait for the season to get going. I can't wait for training camp to open up. Now, I still don't know what the Young Stars camp looks like. I don't know who's all part of that. Once I know for sure who is all going to be part of the Young Stars camp, and then lineups for that tournament in British Columbia starting next week, I will have a video up. We will detail it, and I will have players to watch because I'm also very excited for the Young Stars. So we'll keep an eye out on that. And as I mentioned as well in that intro, McDavid, he opened up about his offseason training changes. He said he wasn't really on the ice much until August. He put in a few weeks on the ice lately. He said last year he was just completely burnt out by the time the season started, and it showed in his play. Now, of course, most Oilers fans, we are very aware that he looked a little off in the first couple months of the season last year. A lot of speculation about his health, a lot of speculation about illness, a lot of speculation about injuries. But if he truly was just burnt out and fatigued, that really does add up. And I think it's really nice that he's really transparent about his slow start last year, the team's slow start, and I like that he is open to making changes about how he does his offseason training to, be ready to go, have the energy required to start a grinding regular season. And hopefully the Oilers don't fall behind the 8 ball this year like they did last year. You cannot afford to start the season 2-9-1 again. It's just, you can't do that. You can't play from behind all year. And then once you get to the playoffs, you're going to be exhausted. So we'll see if the changes that McDavid has made and other players potentially leads to positive yields for the Oilers. That's pretty much it for the news update today. If there's any news that you've heard of that I did not mention, please let me know in the comments section below. I'm always willing to engage with everyone. It is an absolute blast. All the comments and support on the last 2 Evan Bouchard videos that I made, I want to thank everyone for being very constructive and supportive. It truly does mean a lot. Like I mentioned, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit like. If you really liked it and you're not yet subscribed, make sure you do. Tell all your friends and family about the channel. We're looking to grow and become a real strong force on YouTube, and I cannot wait for the future. Tell someone that you love them, and we'll see you next time, Oil Country. Take care.